Thank you very much. Hope so. All people are doing very good. So today, I'm just going to discuss a very crucial point. The point would be how to handle the wrong order on guest table. So just few days back, a reputed hotel brand they have been fined for 1 crore rupees due to the wrong order serving. The silly mistake happened by the hotel management. So it's a very huge reputed company. So that's how I thought that today we are going to be discuss with this regarding point. The point today, again I am going to repeat the point. The point would be today how to deal a wrong order on the guest table in a peak time. So what are the crucial point we need to be remember, what are the things we need to be remember? So that's how I keep these training sessions. Everybody has to be watched these training sessions very carefully, because after the covid we all know that this is a huge challenge for the industry also, that we are not getting the highly performed or highly skilled staffed in the company, because maximum people either they left the hotel industry or somehow they didn't survive due to the covid time also. So lack of knowledge is the most integrated part for this kind of silly mistake also. So as a hotelier, I can say that these kind of mistake you need to be feel a pain, that we have done a huge hotel management course and we have paid for that a huge amount of money, but this against our professionalism. So we need to be learn this thing very carefully, and we need to be deal this kind of the silly mistake, how we can avoid this. So that's how I am going to discuss some of the points that we need to be remember everyone, and we need to be train our staff each and every day regarding the same point. So what are the points we need to remember? First of all, we need to be very careful while we are taking the guest order from the guest table. So first one, how we can avoid while we can repeat the order from the guest table. So we need to be train our staff how to take the order, how to repeat the order. So this is the first crucial part. Each and every day at the briefing session we can keep it, and we can train our staff very scientific ways each and every day briefing sessions. And second things, while we are punching the QTs at, because nowadays it's a digitalized the POS system we have each and every hotel. So we need to be very careful while we are punching the QT. It should be very correct as per the guest whatever they are place the order. So this is the second one. On third, how we can avoid while punching the QT, we need to be go to the back side also. A senior persons, we need to be again recheck the QT whether it would be correctly punched or what. This is the third one. The fourth things are the allocations is a vital role. The allocation plays a vital roles, because why this kind of mistake happened, because wherever the section holders are there nowadays at the peak time, I saw that every hotel they are cutting minimum staffings they have. So we need to be very careful. The section holder are responsible or accountable while the food are coming from the pickup man are picking up the food, and they are not allowed to go to directly on the guest table, and they don't have authority to serve the guest table directly. So we must be, as a section holder we must have to be cross check, and as a supervisor we must have to be cross check. That should be three eyes, the protocol we need to be follow each and every day. Thus way we can avoid the wrong order on the guest table. And whoever the server, whoever looking after the table, they must have to remember the item name, because why these kind of silly mistakes are going to be happened day by day. The staff we were taking the order, they are not dealing, they are sometimes dealing with a 5 6 tables, and they don't know what are they are pretty much confused while they are going to be served the order on the guest table. So we must have to be remember that while we are serving the order, we need to repeat the order as per the QT whatever the guest had been place the order. Suppose the guest placed a vegetarian soup while we are serving on the guest table. We must have to be sure that, sir, this is a veg manchav soup we are going to be serve you. So number one, that's why we can avoid. And if it is a non-vegetarian things, while we are serving, we must have to be shout that, sir, you ordered for a non-vegetarian manchav soup. This is the manchav soup, non-vegetarian manchav soup. So in like this way, we need to be repeat while we are serving as well as while we are taking the order from the guest table. So number three things we need to be very careful: taking the order, placing the order correctly, and while we are serving the order, it must be by the section holder cross checked, and by must be cross checked by the supervisor. So these are the three things we need to be remembered, we need to be discussed each and every day on briefing sessions, because nowadays you all know that, as I said earlier, that everybody, nowadays every hotel they are facing a huge challenge regarding the staffing also, because after the covid we have a very few expertise are available whoever working in the hotel industry. Either they change the professions, or either they are lack of just a very freshers we need to be on board, we have on board. So these are the challenges. So how I can get an idea from this, how I can get an idea that today we will keep this sessions very tightly, because just few days back we got a news, we I saw personally a news, it's a huge, a huge reputed brand, they have done this kind of silly mistakes, and they paid for 1 crore fine for they paid for 1 crore fine for the customers. So this is a silly mistake. Definitely we as a professional person, we cannot do this kind of such a silly mistakes. As a hotelier, we must have to be aware that we are a hotelier, we paid 3 lakh rupees or more than 3 and 4 lakh rupees, for learning the hotel management. You need to remember that this is an investing also for yourself. We couldn't do this kind of silly mistakes while we are, this is against our professionalism. We need to be feel it from the heart also. So we need to be remember this is very vital topics we need to be focused on. And as per my observations and as per my concern, we can do one more things to avoid this such silly mistakes, and this kind of things if we had done, I think there would be a chances of minimize the mistakes. We need to be if we done the planning, because while I was there in Taj, so I learned these things very carefully, that they have a different, colored portion bowls, or they have a different color portion bowl, color marked portion bowls. Like usually they serve a yellow color pot or yellow bowl for the chicken. Usually they served for the vegetarian food, they are going to be served in a vegetarian bowls, a green color bowls. And the mutton they usually serve, a red meat they usually serve in red color bowls. And we can keep the segregated plate color also for the fine dining operations. Like we can keep different vegetarian people, we can put the green color plates, and for the for the non-vegetarian people we can put the different color like the yellow or the red color plates. So that's way we can um, minimize the chances for not serving, or chances for the minimizing the veg non-veg veg non-veg serving at the guest table by mistakenly. So these are the crucial part we need to be remember. And again I just wanted to focus that we need to be trained. This is a small message for every manager or every supervisor, that we need to be very focused for developing our team, or to prepare a nice educated team, then for plays in the operation. So our associate must have to be great knowledge, so we need to be increase the knowledge power for our associates. That's how we can reduce the complaints. Thank you very much for hearing me. Hope so you understood that how to deal a wrong order on guest tables. So number one, again I am going to summarize the thing, whatever the crucial part we need to be remember. While you are taking the order, you must have to be repeat the order, what exactly the guest placed the order, what are the vegetarian item and what are the non-vegetarian item they placed. That is the number one thing. Number two things, we need to be repeat the order. And number three things, while we are punching the POS system, we must have to be very carefully punched that there is a minimum mistake has to be done, or a zero or a error free punching has to be happened through the supervisor or through the senior management whoever going to be punch the KOT. And again we need to be recheck third thing in the backside while the KOT is coming through in our KOT machines. And in the pickup counter we must have to be train the pickup man that while they are picking the order they must have to be recheck with the chef also whether it is a vegetarian food or whether it would be a non-vegetarian food exactly. And the table member must have to be careful while they are picking up accordingly. And the pickup man not to serve the food on directly on the guest table, and the floor supervisor must have a great responsibility and they need to be checked again and again while they are passing the order that this order is the correct order for which table, for the table number this order is the correct table number, and must have to be checked that this is table number that table number 20. If it is in case table number 20 order must have to be checked by the floor supervisor, floor in charge, and then allow the server to serve the order on the guest table. And thus way we can reduce the complaints. Thus way we can reduce the veg non-veg order very easily. Or either I have a solution that some of the hotel they keep a different color coding portion bowls where we can minimize this kind of silly mistakes also. Like if we are going to be served the chicken, it must be used as a different color coding portion bowl. Or either if we are serving a vegetarian we need to be a different vegetarian color bowls should be, or either we need to be a different marked plates. Like for vegetarian people we have different vegetarian plates, and for the non-vegetarian people we can coat a color marking plates a non-vegetarian color like a red color, we can put it on the guest table, and that's how we can reduce the complaint. Hope so all people enjoyed the videos, and if my channel given you a little bit of idea regarding the trainings, please subscribe my channel and share it for the maximum people. They can be benefited from here also, and they can learn a little bit of things. Then our next generation will be a little bit of careful while we are hiring the people from the freshers count. Please subscribe, share my channel as much as possible. Thank you very much for hearing my videos.